Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Taking Crazy Pills. Well, I'm definitely taking a crazy pill now. Now, this time we insulting our side. We love insulting our side. So let's go see what my man Vaush has to say. What he always has to say about the left. A leftist always complaining about the left. Let's see what he got to say about this.
Despise you. We hate you, Joe. You are a symptom of everything wrong with the Democratic Party. You're an insincere, longtime party hack with deep Republican sympathies. You were literally the #1 program watched by Joe Biden during his presidency, and yet somehow all of your, sterling moral opposition to Netanyahu did nothing to sway Joe Biden during his time in office. Fuck you.
Okay, Joe Biden is not Donald Trump. Only Donald Trump listens to news people about foreign policy and any other policy. What are you talking about? Like, just because he watched him every morning, that means Biden is gonna do what he says and do what he suggests? What does that mean? Is Joe Scarborough the president or is Joe Biden the president? Oh, what? But because he was so old and feeble, he had to listen to Joe Scarborough? No. And besides that, Joe Scarborough was just as Zionist as he was. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, he's blaming Netanyahu. You're absolutely right that he should blame Israel in its entirety because the whole country, 80% of the country, agrees with everything that's happening. So yeah, they should blame the entire country and they should stop supporting the country. But it doesn't matter because guess what? The other side supports that country too. You know who doesn't support that country? DSA. And that's why we're winning. That this is why things are happening right now, and which he agrees with. That's fine. But check this shit out. Like, this is crazy. This guy loves to insult the left. Like,
it's so fucking pathetic, man.
Netanyahu as well, because he forced the Qataris to continue funding Hamas weeks before the October 7th attack. So again, everybody's going to want to blame somebody else for this.
Like you?
The guy on the left is the reason why Israel's standing not only in New York City, but across America is lower than it has been since 1948. And you're starting to see that in elections, not only on the far left.
Why not just not support Israel then? It's insane that like no one is around to step into frame and be like, why not blame the Democrats for supporting the bad country then?
Because the Democrats are not supporting the bad country. The Republicans are. Republicans run the Senate, they run the Congress, they run the presidency. Republicans are supporting Israel right now. Just because you don't hear every single person in the Democratic Party talking about fuck Israel and all this or whatever, that doesn't mean anything. You got to understand that these people, yes, the AIPAC bribed a whole bunch of these people. They still in there. So what do you think? They just going to all of a sudden just change their minds after getting thousands upon thousands of dollars from these people? No, they're not going to change their mind simply because a couple people lost their race. That's why we have to keep chipping away at it. And what you do is you punish the establishment Democrats, the ones that get bribed all the time by AIPAC. You punish them through primaries, just like the DSA has been doing. The only way you can punish the left wing is by punishing them through primaries. The second you punish them through general elections, guess what happens? The right wing wins. I don't understand how any leftist, I don't care who you are, you could call yourself a commie, you could call yourself a socialist, you could call yourself a democratic socialist. The one goal every single one of those people should have is the fact that Republicans cannot govern this country. They cannot. And they should not. That's the one thing you all guys should agree. There should be no, Kamala was a bad person, so let me just let Donald Trump win. No. You don't do that. I don't care who's a Democratic nominee, bro. You want somebody who's a DSA candidate, or you want somebody that is Medicare for all, that make sure that they in the primary and you make sure they win. That's it. That's all we got is the primary. Because guess what? The general, we're going to win it anyways. Because Democrats are going to vote for that person. If it's AOC, if it's any other progressive, it doesn't matter who it is. We're going to vote for them when it's against Trump or J.D. Vance or whoever else. So we got to make sure these primaries, we win them. And stop fucking complaining all the time, bro. And if a socialist or a DSA candidate doesn't win, and it's an establishment Democrat, they win. Oh well, better luck next time. We're gonna vote for the establishment Democrat because Republicans don't know how to govern. Like, what are we talking about here? I'd rather have a decently governed country on our way to democratic socialism than this staunch ass authoritarian shit we living through now. People need to stop like shilling. It seems like you shill for the Republicans when you do that. Like literally, every single one of these people, Vaush, all these hardcore lefties was shitting all over Kamala until literally the last day, right before the election. And then they wonder why Trump won. You basically, you demotivate, you unmotivated everybody that listens to you guys. How many people didn't vote? Because you guys is on some fuck Kamala shit. Like, your ideology is right, but that doesn't mean that you get to get your ideology all in one shot like that. It don't work like that, bro. And I don't want to live in a dictatorship until that happens. Is that okay? Shit.
Why not? I don't know, man. I'm getting steadily more angrily now. Yeah, I mean, it's worth remembering, and I hope this is not a controversial statement. Like, Netanyahu is a worse person than almost anyone in office in America, but I hate the Democrats who support him more than I hate him. Like, Netanyahu is like Hitler. He's an abstract evil. He's not American. I mean, he's certainly, I don't consider him American. I don't care. You know, to me, he's like a distant foreign evil. But the Democrats who are willing to sacrifice the future longevity of this country, the will of their constituents, our money, our weapons, everything at the foot of Israel, just so they can cynically appeal to the capitalists who are using Israel as a wedge issue to try to disingenuously appeal to people on the right and the left. I hate you far more. Far more. You all.
And you can hate them all you want. You should still vote for them in a general election. It's just that simple. I don't care. There is no argument. I don't care who you are. You could be Brianna Joy Gray, Vaush, fucking Jimmy Dore for that matter. And that's what he's starting to sound like. Hardcore Jimmy Dore sounds like right now. He's sounding like Dave Rubin right here. This is crazy, bro. Like, no. I punish Democrats. I punish Democrats in the primary, not in the general. Never in the general.
I'll agree with that, right? Like the deep interpersonal seething hatred reserved for traitors is always worse than the hatred for the outright enemy. It's like a common. You focus on Judas, not the Romans. You knew what the Romans were going to do. Judas was the one who sold them out for 30 silver or whatever.
Again, you know what they're going to do. So what if you know what they're going to do? What you mean you don't blame them? You blame the traitor and you blame the Romans. What? In this case, in case you don't know, the Romans are the Republicans. Yes, you fucking blame the Romans. Just because you know that's what they're about. So what? You make steps into making sure that's not what they're about. You need to drag people left. Like, stop with this zero-sum game. If you don't got 100%, if you don't agree with 100% of what I'm doing, then I'm letting a Republican win. That's got to be the most idiotic thing.
But on the far right.
Yeah, what you just said there about Netanyahu being the central figure is precisely what I was texting with some New York Democratic operatives last night.
Of course we have to support Israel. We have no choice. We're loyal to them over America. If only Netanyahu wasn't such an unreliable partner in this deal.
The people on the right like to blame Mamdani. They like to say there's a culture of anti-Semitism here. People can have their own opinions. That's not what this was about. Brad Lander, of course, Jewish himself. This is about the support for Israel and the conduct of that war. Dan Goldman, this shows you how toxic it is. Dan Goldman, as of late 2024, was also running away from it. So it's denounced it, said this has gone too far, tried to move away from his position that had initially been supportive. But that shows you just how toxic Bibi and his Netanyahu and his conduct of the
always Bibi, always such a cynical, such a disingenuous these fucking liars.
Bro, come on. Like, you really want them just out and out say the state of Israel? You know everyone on top of everyone is just going to call them anti-Semitic. And guess what? People are going to believe that, bro. Like, Netanyahu is basically code for the state of Israel. For the most part. Bernie Sanders says the same thing. Bernie Sanders doesn't say the state of Israel is bad and this, that, and the third, because you can't demonize a whole country. Like, that's crazy. You can't demonize whether I agree with you or not, which I do agree with you. But people that's media trained are not gonna just demonize a whole country like that, bro. What don't you understand? There's certain levels to this. They're not just gonna out and out. They want to keep their jobs. They don't want to get canceled. That's like saying the N-word on live television. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna criticize an entire country because that makes it seem general, which makes it seem anti-Semitic. So they have to specify who to blame, bro. Like, how you not know that?
Man, when Netanyahu inevitably gets replaced, it's going to be like a new fucking leaf for Israel. These people are all going to pretend. I hate them so fucking much. I hate these people. They all know what they're doing. They all know that the entire Israeli political establishment is as bad as, if not worse than Netanyahu. They all know it. They're fully aware of it. They're all lying to you.
Yes.
This is why they're losing. This is why we're going to win.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, they are slaves to their consultants and their corporate interests. They cannot pivot the way they would need to appeal to the electorate, because to do so would be to betray their actual masters. People like, Mamdani don't have actual masters except for the constituents. A pure, resonant political thought, a motivation, and a zeitgeist that is authentic and earnest and built up solidly from its base, not some crumbling pillar of salt that's based almost entirely off of willful capitulation to people who hate every living American.
Has been where he couldn't overcome that. And Lander, who had been far more critical, was able to win. So that is a big piece of the story here in New York. And and then the Mamdani coattails is the other element here. There's no question.
Not the will of the voters. Those are the two elements, man. Netanyahu betrayed us by not being more subtly evil, and also Kingmaker had nothing to do with the voters. The will of the voters, the intentions of the voters, nah.
Yahoo stuff, Joe and Mika, loomed large in that race, perhaps more than any other factor, and we'll see how that plays out going forward, because as a final thought, I had conversations last night with some Democrats about other races coming up this fall and in 2028, and there's no doubt that the Netanyahu stuff looms large. As long as he's in power. Once he's out, that could change things.
No. So they can't be more transparent. Literally, they could.
Yeah, and they're gonna blame the next leader. Understand? They cannot. Yo, bro, like, just be for real. You want news people who like their jobs to just denigrate the entire state of Israel. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that for any other country. Like, do they actually badmouth other countries? No, they don't. Only politicians do that. But people that are media trained and people that are reporters and things like that, they're not going to do that. Like, come on. Yes, they're going to blame every leader from now on. And they're never going to blame the state of Israel. Of course not.
They're so fucking stupid They can't even unlike the Republicans who are capable of like managing, you know, the incredible logistical complexity of a fucking group chat where they settle on narratives beforehand. The Democrats, who are stupid and always trying to play catch up with the donors, have to like publicly signal this. They have to be like, yeah, like we're not going to change. We're going to blame our failings on Netanyahu, but when Netanyahu gets replaced, maybe everything will be different. Who knows? Like they're just openly talking to the capital class. This makes me respect Republicans more than Dems. I mean, you should, because unlike Democrats, Republicans believe in politics. I'm sorry, but that's like a really important prerequisite to being a competent politician.
What the fuck does that mean, bro? What does that mean? I respect Republicans more because they believe in politics? What? This is the problem, bro. This is people like him are the problem. People like him are the problem, son. Saying a statement like that. You're supposed to be a commie. You're supposed to be a commie. And you said you respect the right wing more than the left wing. Regardless, that's what we got here. Right? That's what we got here. You respect the right wing more than the left wing because they understand politics. They understand branding. They understand marketing. That's all. And a lot of the American people are stupid enough to fall for it. That's all it is. You respect them more. They can't govern, bro. You know these stats, man. What are you talking about? Almost every recession has been under Republican administrations, bro. Every time it's been fixed, it's been under Democrats. The establishment Democrats, the ones that you don't like so much. We always fixing their problems. Always. But yeah, people like you always want to punish the Democrat with a Republican. That makes no sense. Oh, I know why. He just said it. Because he respects them more. It sounds very Jill Steiny to me. Don't you think? Like, you know what I'm saying? Real fucking Jill Steiny. What, you're going to show up? You're going to show up to a Russian dinner time? You're going to run a Russian dinner party now next? Like, this is crazy, bro. He's supposed to be a commie. Talking about he respects the right more.
Again, like, you hate the traitors most, right? These people are, and I just like being straight.
No, I don't hate the traitors most. No, I hate them just the same. Why would I hate the traitor more than a person who's oppressing me? That gotta be the dumbest shit in the world, bro. No, I don't hate them more. I hate them just the fucking same. And I do hate I hate Chuck Schumer. And guess what? He will be primaried. And guess who I'm gonna be voting for? The person primary. I don't even care who's primarying him. They will get my vote. That's how you punish people like Chuck Schumer. You drag them left. You primary them with DSA candidates. I don't care if they sound commie. I don't care all that stuff. It doesn't matter. The point is Democrats see they losing too far left, more left people than them. So they must go left. But if you punish them by letting the right win, they're gonna go right. And that's what we've been doing for the past 25 years, punishing Democrats with Republicans. So that's why they're going right, because that's what we're giving them clues to, that we should go more right because they keep voting in right-wing people. But if you keep voting in DSA candidates, you keep voting in commies or socialists or whatever you want to call these people, they're gonna drag left. They have to. So it doesn't matter if the DSA takes every single seat that we need. We're gonna drag these people left anyway. But with this stupid ass mentality, why would they want to get dragged left? Why would they want to get dragged left? With people like this, bro. Oh, I hate the traitor more than the oppressor. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Straightforward. These people are as concerned with your well-being as Donald Trump is. They fucking hate you. Everything they say, every statement, every little like omitted phrase the consistent reference to Netanyahu rather than Israel, that pathetic, hasty last bit, oh, maybe things will change when he's out, as if there's any evidence to suggest that point. All of it signals an equal level of contempt for you as demonstrated by any Republican in office. They're just playing two halves of the culture war, buddy, okay? They do not care. Okay, but Republicans want to kill good people in the world? So do they. What do you mean? They're Zionists. They're literally running defense for...
Son, just because someone is defending Israel right now doesn't make them a Zionist, bro. They could just be wanting money, bro. Maybe some of these Democrats aren't religious at all, and they just look at these dumb fucks. They want to give me money to do this dumbass shit that they think is going to happen. I take that money. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're Zionists. They're just they like their bribes. So that doesn't necessarily mean that they want to end the world with the right wing. See, this is the fucking problem. Speech like this, making them seem like they that evil. Like, what are you talking about? They just getting money, bro. They just getting money. That's why you vote in people who don't take money, AOCs. That's why you have these people. And let's not act like every single establishment Democrat is a bad person. We got good people. We got Jasmine Crockett. Yeah, she hasn't voted every way the way we want her to. She never claimed to be a socialist. She never claimed to be a Democratic socialist. But she fights for what she needs to fight for. Maxwell Frost, also a good candidate. A good congressman. These are establishment people. What, you think these people hate you? No, man. It's just that these old boomers don't want to get out the fucking way. And they want to keep getting bribes. That doesn't necessarily mean that they Zionists and they believe in all this bullshit.
The Zionist industrial complex right now by pretending that Netanyahu's personal failings are responsible for their loss rather than their willful capitulation to a fascist ethno-state that's trying to end the world. The world-ending front right now is happening, okay? The Third Temple movement, that shit, they're with it. They might say they're opposed to it, but I don't hear them talking about it. When was the last time you heard Joe Scarborough attack the Third Temple dipshits in Israel? When was the last time you saw a segment where he was like, damn dog, it's crazy. Like, Israel's a fucking ethno-nationalist death state that's actively trying to bring about a doomsday prophecy. The crazy thing is that Joe is actually not like the most rabid Zionist, you know? He's actually not. Like, he's not. There are people in the Democratic Party far, far worse than Joe Scarborough. It's just that, like, again, like, you know, it's varying levels of willful, malicious contempt versus indifferent contempt. But they hate you all the same. Oh, they hate you.
And we hate them, but we are still going to use them. Just like they hate us, but they're going to use us for their votes. We're going to use them for their seat. Because we don't want Republicans to win. How can you be a leftist and secretly want a Republican to win? Any Republican. I don't care who you are, son. I don't care if you Mr. Vaush, Big King Vaush, or Kyle Kalinske, or anybody else. Actually, Kyle Kalinske actually saw the light, and he understands. Yeah, he'll vote for Gavin Newsom if he was a nominee. I'll vote for whoever is the nominee. I don't care who it is, bro. Are you crazy? You think I'm gonna let J.D. Vance be my president? What's wrong with you people? Like, seriously, what's wrong with you people? I don't care if it's Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris, AOC, Buttigieg. I don't care. Every single one of those people is better than J.D. Vance. Every single one of those people is better than Marco Rubio. Every single one of those people is better than any one of these MAGA establishment people. Anybody in this administration. All those people are better. Like, I don't want to hear this bullshit. This is all bullshit propaganda to make yourself feel high and mighty. I'm the right ideology. Yeah, you're right. You do have the right ideology, but you definitely have the wrong strategy. I could tell you that. Your strategy sucks, bro. And you, Breonna Joy Gray, supposedly Jimmy Dore, I don't know how the fuck he's supposed to be a leftist still. Like, this strategy sucks, man. Anyway, I got off into a rant right there, but it just gets me mad, bro. Like, we willing to shit all over our country some more just because we don't get the candidates we want. Anyway, man, I know there's probably gonna be comments on here. Tell me why I'm wrong, so we can have it out. I'm with it. Let's go. I'll see you next time.
Never forget that Joe